Ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're working on one of my favorite nightmares, a gas-powered hedge trimmer. Now, I don't know why, but I always worry about losing fingers when I work on these things. So I'm super careful. Now this one, we just got it at a yard sale yesterday, and we got it cheap. And it looks like it's in super good shape, but it won't start, won't run. When you hit it with starter fluid, she gives it a good effort. So let's go ahead and redo the carburetor and see if we can't get this one running. As you can see, this thing's like super nice. So maybe a carb rebuild, maybe a new fuel filter and all that whatnot, but we'll find out. This one uses hex bolts. Don't see that real often. So let's give it a guess right about here. I'll list all the tools that we used at the beginning of the video. So you've already seen what size this is. There's one. There's another one. Well, let's have a look at what we've got. Now, before we take the fuel lines off, we're going to loosen the gas cap because you can build up pressure in the fuel lines. This one's below fuel level, so that's even more important. Let's grab our handy 10, take the accelerator off, the throttle cable. Do that. I'll kick this way. Most of the time it sticks straight out when you do that. So now we're holding the throttle cable still. And there you go. This one in particular is part and parcel of the unit. I'll show you what I mean in a second. This cable has this end pressed onto it. On most weed eaters and even hedge trimmers, once you get this off, this will slide right out, and the cable has its own end that slides into a brass piece like this. But this one's going to be different on us. Okay, and since our fuel lines are below fuel level, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. I'm going to drain the fuel on this one. Okay, but the fuel looks pretty good. And the fuel lines don't look half bad. You're still going to get some drips, but not too much. So if the fuel lines come off the carburetor decently, we'll save them. This one looks like it might be here to stay. And every fuel line we do is, taking it off. It's going to be a little different for yours because they all act differently. You don't know quite which one might be stuck on yours. Okay, we got it to move. Usually when you get it to move, she'll come off. Yep, and there she goes. She's starting to come off. And there we have it. So the fuel line's got a little bit of a tint to it, but it doesn't look all that bad. I think it's savable. So if you're rebuilding a carburetor, make sure you've got a nice, neat workspace. You don't want to introduce problems. You don't want to lose parts. When I first started doing this way back when, I'd end up buying a carburetor now and then just because I lost one screw. And I've made it a point to be a lot more careful since then. So there you go. Now we've got our metering diaphragm. We've got, our fuel gasket. Lost it for a second there. Fuel gasket, you see, it's got a little bit of a bulge to it. So it wouldn't hurt to put a new one on. And the bottom gasket, of course, those usually last, so I don't worry about those too much. We've got this all nice and cleaned up. Primer bulb looks okay, so we're going to just roll with that. You can see we've got a brand new fuel gasket, because this one does look a little bit rough. We use the old base gasket. That doesn't really matter much. Now remember, your base gasket goes on this side. The smooth side gets the fuel gasket. And this has got two little alignment pins, which help you get everything together and make sure you're lined up correctly on it. Definitely pay attention when you're putting it together, though. It's pretty hard to get them upside down or backwards, but pretty hard doesn't mean impossible. There we go. Now grab our handy new fuel diaphragm and gasket, all bolted together into one. Okay, now where's our black box? There we go. And last but not least, our primer bulb. Or purge bulb if you prefer. Pretty much the same thing. It either primes the carburetor or purges the air out of it. And we're going to go in. Notice we're not going too terribly tight. We're going to get them all semi-snug first because we want to let the gasket settle. Now we're going to go ahead and snug down. And this bad boy is ready to go. At least we sure hope so. Okay, now, if you made notes when you were taking it apart, putting it back together is pretty easy peasy. You see there? Yeah, you can see. So we're going to approximate the adjustment to more or less where it was originally, but you want to make sure that you've got enough slack that she will go down to a complete idle, and that when you accelerate, you're getting all of the throttle. We're going to get that lined up. That's close. Now we're going to pull the trigger and see if she settles in. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now all we have to do is bolt her back together and we're done. Okay, we'll get the fuel lines on. And if you get these backwards, if you're priming it, when you're priming it, you should see the fuel coming in through this and exiting back into the tank through the clear one in this case. If it looks like the fuel's flowing in the wrong direction, or if it won't prime correctly, then just simply take these fuel lines off and switch them around. But do make a note when you're taking it apart. Okay, base gasket looks pretty good. It says bolt her back together and see what we've got. I always say see if she'll start, but we're pretty sure they're almost always going to start. Okay, a little snug. Get this one a little snug. There we go. Let's put some gas in her and take her outside. So let's start her up and see what she does. Sounds like it could use a touch more idle. There you go, let's turn off noise cancellation. Sounds pretty good. I did cheat a little bit and run the carburetor through the ultrasonic, but you could soak it overnight in a can of carb cleaner and you'd get the same effect. Just the ultrasonic makes it a little quicker, and I use pine sol in it, which makes the garage smell nice when I'm done. So this thing sounds pretty good, and I expect she'll go pretty fast. It's that time of year. So all you new people out there, if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. It's free, and it's what we work for. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.